Hello everybody. So, hi Anna. So this is where we stopped last class. I left my computer today with the picture of the pose in there just to help out. But actually today I'm thinking, hi Diana. I think I will finish to build up the body a little bit more. We don't want to have the skeleton showing, even if the clothes would cover, because that would be very easy to break, very fragile. So you want to cover the whole thing. I like to let it show as much as I need to keep me tracked with the anatomy, but then at some point we have to cover up. Something else I noticed too is that this leg here, I should probably make her thighs a little bit thicker, because if you look to her dress there, you can kind of see the shape of her thighs because it's coming forward and the dress will follow through it. So it's too skinny to be realistic. So I'll probably put some muscle in there. And yeah, if we have time, we'll start building up the baby. And the reason that I would build the baby before baking her is because the baby is pressing her boobs here, so it has some pressure on it, would just squeeze the boob, and we kind of like have to do this squeeze to look real. So that's why I would like to have the baby, so I can squeeze the baby to her body before baking her. I'm not respecting the pose 100%, but those things, like, it's always good to put. So I'm gonna get the doll, and I don't need to detach the legs because I already put together. If you guys want to detach the legs, you can. All you need to do is cut the butt here and pull it out, detach from the bone here, and you can still build up the leg. But I will disassemble the arms. Don't need the arms right now. And I want to build a nice neck and nice front here. So she doesn't need to have a lot here, but we do have more muscles on our back, so our side here is not as skinny as the front. On the back here we get more muscle and can pull some volume here. We don't need to make exactly the right muscles, but it's good to have more volume on the sides here. Eu já pensei em fazer a Naomi Watts com King Kong. So just a little bit, because she's gonna be dressed up, but there's no need for a lot. And if we, at the end, like after all, we think it still needs more, we can always add more, and that's fine. So just goes towards the back like that. That's like what we call our wings, the muscle. Like, I mean, I'm not making a muscle here, but the volume. Right, it's bigger here, but I don't want to cover the arms, so I'm not going to go higher. I'm going to leave it like that. And here on the back, there's no need for I'm using Polymer Clay. This is a lesson from Patreon. It used to be private, but because of the coronavirus, I'm opening up for everybody. So we're gonna make I'm going to make her neck a little bit thicker, like a tube, but thicker. So that's how I always like to start the neck. It's like with a tube. And for this tube to be the right size, I'll tell you what, I'll put some clay here because it's not thick enough. And if you look to my skeleton, the skeleton is available on my Etsy store. I forgot to put the link here. I'll put the link after. But if you go on Etsy and search for Juliana Lupine, you'll find my store. And there's this skeleton available there. So if you look to the skeleton here, let me remove this. You see there's a little triangle here. This is where the neck starts on the front, is right behind this triangle. And it goes to half of between the chin and the jaw here, around the halfway, that's where the neck needs to reach. And it's not like a 90-degree angle. There's a little bit of an angle here before the straight part of the neck. Hi, Pam. Hi, Marcia. I have my students here, my Patreon students that are making this American Native with me. and they are all amazing students. So this is just some clay to make the neck a little bit thicker and reaching the right position here. And if you look on the sides, the neck is pretty much almost as large as the jaw. So it's still too skinny here. But it is thinner on the front, so that's fine. I'm going to put some on the back now. And on the back, it reaches the spine. I covered the spine here. But that's okay, because her back is not even going to show. But when you do this, the neck, you go all the way to the spine that is right there. The neck reaches like it's a kind of like a continuation of the spine. And it's right above when it ends the curve of the head around here, that's where the neck must to reach. So I'm going to put more clay here because this neck is still skinny. And the neck, it's a tube for now. It doesn't open in the bottom here. That's a big mistake that a lot of people do, is like make the tube of the neck like opening, like a trapezius is not. It's a tube, and the trapezius, it's just on the back. I'll show you. All right, so I'm going to... I can't really read all the chat because I need to explain. This is a class. I'm teaching how to make an American native on Patreon, and the students are here and they're following. They're actually making their own native right now. So I can't be chatting too much. I really need to focus on teaching the class. Hello. So just giving the right thickness here. And if you hear some noises, here's a little mouse called Louisa Lupine, my daughter. She's home because we're all home. So I'm just adding enough here too. Oh, I forgot I don't have the right clay color, so I need to make it a little bit thinner. Oh, actually, Louisa, can you do me a favor? Mommy opened the wrong clay. Where's the native color? Here, can you open this clay for me on the machine?
Okay.
Be careful, there's black on the machine. Don't let the black goes there. So yeah, I have to put the right clay color on this neck. So I'm gonna take a little bit off the thickness. That's why I let it so skinny. Now I remembered. I'm like matching here, and it's like, that doesn't seem right. Well, anyway, at least I already explained the right thickness of the neck. So I'll just release a little bit of clay here and go around with the proper clay later on. So that's what I did, because this clay, the clay that I used for the skin, I added flocking, I added a lot of colors to reach the right color that I wanted for my native. And you don't want to have to be mixing a lot of amount of clay with all these flockings and stuff. It's kind of like time consuming and a lot of work. So I usually just mix enough, just prepare enough clay for the skin that will show, and the parts of the body that will be hidden, I usually use a color that is like sometimes more similar, like this brown. It's not as far from the color that I used, but this brown is just a mix of a bunch of leftover clay that I had, and I wanted to use it, so you know, just so you can use all your clay and not put anything on the garbage, and that's good. So I'm just making the neck a little bit skinnier so I have enough space to add the proper color around. And then for the trapezius and all of these details, I can add already with the proper color. So that's good enough here. And now the boobs, I will start spreading this clay to the bone better this way, because it cannot be suddenly a hill. Thank you. No, open like that one. just so I can cover her body. Now the ears goes to the bottom of the nose, to the top of the eyebrow. Okay, that is the size of the ears. So just squeezing the boobs here so it's not like suddenly a big heel. It's like slowly gets the shape. And none of this will show except this part here, because I think her dress, like if I use the same dress as the picture that I'm using, the pose, like it will show part of the body here. So that's pretty much all. So I can even make a tiny trapezius here, just a tiny one, just so you guys understand the shape of the neck. So here on the back, you have a trapezius that it's like a triangle that goes up over the neck. It goes all the way to the back here, but we're not really making back, so we don't really need to build up the muscle here. So I'm just going to add. And I don't want to cover this hole for my arm, so I can't go too far, only after putting the arm. But this just helps the neck to don't look so long. Yeah. Here. Thank you. And it comes here. It goes inclinated to the front like that. Thank you. It's talented, but you know, it's also practicing, and a lot of, if you like it, if you want to do it, you can do it. You just need to learn anatomy and have the patience to, you know, patience and passion is not just about talent. If you see the sculptures that I did when I first started, you wouldn't say I was talented. So I will make this bigger when I put arms and shoulders, because right now I don't want to cover these two holes here. That is for where the arms are going to come. But that's already good enough to put the proper skin. And yeah, so here is the skin color that I made for her, and that is with a lot of mixing and the right color. So I will open even like, this is the maximum that my machine open, my pasta machine open thin thing, but I like to squeeze even more to get it even thinner. It's good enough. And there's no need to be perfect. And I just want to cover the top here, so I'm not gonna cover the whole thing, just here and neck, and here I can cut, and you can always like put more if you need and smooth out together. It's pretty easy to connect them together, so it's not a big deal. And I'm just gonna go around whatever I builded and press and cover up with the proper clay. I'm gonna cut right here because I don't want to go too much, because I need this clay for arms, hands, so, and I didn't do a lot, so I probably will run out of it. Because I didn't supposed to do the baby the same color, and I forgot, and I made the baby the same color, so I also have to make the baby body. But it's okay, I can always make some similar color, like it's not perfect, but it's similar, so it's fine. She has it called caught. I don't, I didn't really see the questions. I was so focused on doing this. I'm sorry, I wasn't even reading the comments and questions. If you guys had any question here and it was important, you can please repeat. I'm reading the chat now. Não, o vídeo não tá acabando não, começou agora. Oh, and I have always to open up the square here because I want to be able to fit my arm through it there. So I don't want to lose my spot. This is Polymer Clay. I use PV Clay, the brand, but it's just a brand of Polymer Clay. Any Polymer Clay will do it. PV Clay is my favorite because I think it's stronger than the others once it's baked. But that's my personal preference. And it's Brazilian, so you can only find in Brazil. I'm going to release this amount. Yes, there's a lot of classes on Patreon if you guys are interested. Right now I'm doing all of them open for the public because of the coronavirus. I know a few of my students cannot afford a monthly payment, so I'm just making sure that they don't miss the classes. Louisa, you just shaked my phone. Yeah, it's school time. Go to school. Go to homeschool. Dad is calling you.
Okay, I'm going.
There you go. And I don't think I'm getting all the messages. I saw that Marsha said bacon for something, but I don't know what is she talking about. This part might show because she's going to have braids, and I might put to the front of the neck, so to the front of the body, so this part might show. So it's good to build up something here, but not right now. I'm not going to be able to build it right now because I don't have the arms. So I'm just going to make like something really basic right now. And I'll finish this after when I have the arms ready. There's also the, I forgot the name of this bone in English here. That goes, there's a bone here that I'm not going to put it right now because of the not having the arms. Clavicle. I don't know if that's the name in English. I think it is the same as Portuguese. I'm not sure. And then the neck also is skinnier here in the front. We can make that. And there's a muscle, there's a mark here when she's pulling, like she is, I'm not sure if she's going to be moving her head like that. I will have to figure that out first. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the head just like the pose that I'm looking at. But you can make a little mark in here. It doesn't matter the pose. It's always good to make it. There's some dirty on my clay in there too. Okay, so that's good. It's gonna look a little bit weird because of the two-color clay, but that's okay. She's gonna have a dress and it won't show any of that. Hi from Egypt. Wow. Hello, Egypt. So just making sure that this is not gonna be hiding. And that's it. So that's it for the top right now. I will press the baby to her boobs before. I'm not gonna bake that, but it's prepared. And now let me just put my good clay away so it doesn't get mixed up with the bad clay. I mean with the wrong color clay. And now I'm gonna do exactly the same thing, and I'm gonna cover all of that. The armature making. This armature, it's made out of resin, and my husband makes them for me. I sculpted the first one, and they're resin copies that I just use, and they're available on Etsy. I don't make them anymore. I mean, my husband makes make them for me. So I'm gonna do the same thing and cover up these bones here too, so she has a body and it's not going to move around, it's not gonna break as easy. Maybe we can even do double layers of that because it's quite skinny. Thank you. Oops, that's too much air in there. Don't let air bubbles go around. I have to cover all the air bubbles. Yeah, this clay is way too thin, so I'm gonna double this layer. A nice way for making a strong person and you want the muscles to show is build the muscles and then you put a clay around as a skin and it's going to look really good. So again, this is not going to show she will have a dress. I am still not sure if I'm going to use fabric or clay for her dress. The reason is usually I buy fabric for the secondhand stores. I just go and look around, but they are closed because of the coronavirus, and I'm not sure where I'm going to get my fabric. So I might make the dress out of clay this time. I'll see. I have to make this decision. So you can put as many layers as clay, as skin as you want here until she is, you know, she has the thickness that you like. And you also have to cover this bone here. You can't be showing because it's going to make her move around and you don't want her to be moving around. So we'll cover this up. Because now all the anatomy is there. There's no need to keep up with those. I didn't even put any fat on the stomach or anything because it won't show, so there's no need. It's not that I want to make a super skinny native, it's just because there's no need really. I'm gonna put on her back as well, and I'm gonna let it go more to the front so I can kind of like double this layer. So she's not as skinny as it looks like. And it just gets stronger, more clay to hold her tight. And as you can see, I'm not even putting the same amount of skin everywhere because she's gonna be wearing a dress and none of that will show. And I don't want to make her butt bigger right now, so I'll get this out. Sorry, I missed the last conversations there. So we're just adding layers so she's not so skinny. And the sculpture is not so fragile. Thank you. There's a few air bubbles that I'm not removing very well here. I have to be careful with air bubbles because after all it cracks too much and you know, kind of we don't really want the sculpture to be cracking up. Okay, thanks, Marcia. Hello, Peru. So that's good. I mean, if I feel the need to put more fat on her body, then I will. Like, that's an air bubble there. You don't want it. Get rid of it. I might. I mean, if the body is, if the dress is fabric, then I probably, it will depend on how thick the fabric is. Because if it's a thick fabric, then you don't want too much. But if it's not as thick, then we might make it a little bit of more volume to this body here. Right now, that's good enough. Where do I buy my material? Oh boy. The clay is from Brazil. It's www.pvclay.com.br. And I think that's pretty much it. All the material I have, I bought it like a long time ago, and they take forever to finish, so I still have it. I haven't been buying material, just like, you know, some fabric here and there, glue. Glue I buy it at Walmart or Fabric Land, that is like just a local store here. Okay, so this is good for the body right now. I like it. And now, as I said, I need to make her thighs a little bit thicker. Doesn't matter the color, and it's pretty much just the thighs. I mean, it's pretty much just this one. This one doesn't really need, but we could to don't look so weird and to be stronger too. So I'm gonna make it thicker for the sides. Hello, Serbia. And I'm going to put some muscle here. Remember that the top is knee and thighs, so I'm not going to go all the way to here. I have to leave space for the knee in there. Just some side legs here. And then I'll build this up. Just so it's not so skinny. It doesn't need to have the right shape. Unless we are making like a very, very thin fabric on top, then it would be good to have like the full anatomy for the thighs. But I don't like the native fabric. It's quite thick, and there's those things hanging that I forgot the name. Granges? My students told me, but I forgot again. So let me get some more clay here. And this is clay, like it got dirty here. It doesn't matter because it's not gonna show. Maybe that's too much. Doesn't need to be that thick. I'm going to put that thick and then slowly reduce. Just go to the back here. And then because we have the skeleton, the anatomy kind of comes natural. I mean, not truth, not when you just starts, but slowly, when you get the anatomy, then kind of start coming natural because the skeleton is right there and you pretty much just follow it. 안녕하세요, Korea. So that would be pretty much what we really need to do. I don't want to put thick here because of the boots. Then I'm just going to pull it to the back here. And again, if you guys have the need to put more and make the full anatomy, go ahead. In the back here, we probably won't see any of the shape because the dress falls straight from the butt, so it wouldn't show. Just on the front is what it's important to do, really. But I don't like having all yucky clay here. I like kind of like decent, smooth. Yes, if you add the, well, if you are doing a naked figure, then yes, for sure. It's very good to add the muscles slowly. I mean, you don't need to add all of them. I do like group of muscles that make a shape, you know, like volumes. I don't work with like individual muscles because that would be crazy. But I do like volumes of muscles, like muscles that goes together and make a nice volume. So I just add them together. You can see that in some of my videos that I do it, and then you can just come up with the clay on top, the skin on top. It does, anyway, the process is speed up with this skeleton because of the, it's not just speed up, it's speed up and help you to don't mess up the proportions too much, don't mess up the anatomy too much because the skeleton is right there and all you need to do is fill up and just learn how to fill it up. Can make a class with how to build up on top of the skeleton with the muscles, and I can do that for sure. It's pretty helpful, I think. So yeah, this leg doesn't need, but if you guys like feel awkward in having a thinner leg and a thicker leg, like I feel kind of awkward, so I would build it, but I don't need to do that in camera. I can build that up after class, so we don't need to spend too much time here doing the same thing. And now I'm gonna put her on her base again. That was, where was it? This one? I think it's this, no, it's this one and this one. Yeah. Oi, Brasil. And then we just have a better view of her full body here, if we like her or not. And it's coming along. It's coming good. I like it. I bet there's some air bubbles here that I'm not so concerned about it, because as long as they don't crack, I think it's okay. All right. So that's good enough, because this is going to give me a nice shape for the dress to fall through. And yeah, I'll make the other leg thicker too, but I don't need to do that in class. My phone is falling. Sorry. But see, with the leg, don't fall, little lady. The hole that I made on the base, it's bigger than the wire, because the wire is very, I didn't have the right bead to do the proper size, so it's kind of falling a little bit. So she's kind of leaning back and forth, but I know that it's supposed to be forward. So I think that is good enough for her body. Any question? Until here, any question? How long has been class? 35 minutes. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to repeat here again. This is part of my private classes. I have a lot of private classes on my Patreon if you're interested. I have John Lennon, I have Dracula, I have Caught, that is a full anatomy of a bigger body lady. I have Jasmine, I have Van Gogh, I have this native, I have I don't even know. I have a lot, and they're all available. So anytime my students wants to take a class that they didn't before, they can just go there and take all the classes. And also I go live once a week, and we always keep on going with new projects all together live. And we also have a Facebook chat where we help each other through to motivate, to answer questions during the whole week. And it's pretty good. The students are evolving a lot. I like they make me really proud. And yeah, it's great. If you're interested on taking those classes, you're welcome to take it on my Patreon. So yeah, for the body, I think that's it. We can go ahead now and start making the baby. I'm gonna let her rest here. And okay, so this is a mama. She's gonna be holding a baby just like that picture over there. Not exactly like it, but that's kind of the pose. So she's going to be holding a baby in this pose. The baby is going to be laughing instead of so serious. So we're changing things around a little bit. But because the baby will be squeezing her breast in here, we need to have the baby before we can bake her. So she's soft. Oops, I forgot to put a bikini on this lady. YouTube might cut off my video because of that. Let me get rid of this. So this is the baby proportions. The baby also will be undressed, so doesn't need to have body and legs perfectly. But it's always good to have something. So I'm going to show you guys how to make an armature. And this armature is good for adults as well. It's good for whatever you want to do it. So I'm just going to get a little piece of wire here, and I'm going to measure up. Let me get a pen first to show you guys what I'm planning to do, or a pencil here. So for the skeleton, we're going to need a wire that goes up to the neck here, to the arms here, with a little bit longer for the hand, down here, and when we reach the leg here, it's up and down. So that will be the wire that we want to build. Okay? This image is from Anatomy for Sculptures. The link, their symbol is this one. Is really good. You guys can go to their website, and they have anatomy books, and they're amazing. So here we go. How we're going to do. I'm going to go the size of the leg first. I don't have my another plier here. I'll just use this one. And once I reach the leg here, I'm going to bend. This is an aluminum wire, so it's very easy to bend. Then I'm going to go leg. Can you guys see? No, here. So leg, go in, and then I'm gonna bend right here to go up. So this way, I'll go up for the spine. Yeah, we can do that. It's always like the students on my Patreon, they kind of vote for the next class. So it's like a vote. And we can go here. Because I have the neck already, because I have the neck already builded, I don't want to go with the same wire for neck. So I'm just gonna go around here and go back. If we didn't have the hole, because I have the hole already for the baby. So if we didn't have the right hole here, and if I have the drill here ready to go, I could go neck double all the way here and use a double wire for the neck. But because I don't want to have to make this hole again, I'm not going to go. So I'm going to go down here, go back to the spine. So it's a double spine, double wire for the spine. I'm just going to squeeze this together this way. Get down, and then I will repeat here all the bending. I'm gonna bend out again for the second leg. So I'm making the bottom part of the baby's body first. And it doesn't need to be exactly the same because again, we're not building the full anatomy here. So baby's also with a dress. So these are legs. Oh my gosh, do you guys hear that noise? That was my baby head. I just knocked it off the table and where's my baby head? Just a second, I need to rescue my baby head. Alright, I found my baby head. That's why I like polymer clay. See, I knock it off and it didn't break. So that's why PV clay is my favorite. Alright, so this wire is, I don't know, it doesn't come anything. It's this one doesn't say anything. I think it's 1/16. That's what it is. But it doesn't need to be this one. That's just because that's the one I have. It could be anything that is aluminum and is not thicker than your doll. It's good. And it's not too thin, that doesn't give any structure. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the arms. So arms, and then I go down here for the spine. It's easier to flip the draw around than the wire. So arms, spine. And then for the spine, I'm going to reach all the way where the leg is. So right there. And I'm going to go up. And here. And other arm. So I don't have the other arm straight up. So I'm just going to follow here. And make the other arm also based on this one. And cut around the same size there. What is whoops, Marcia? I didn't see. So when you put this together like that, because we went all the way to the leg with the spine here, and I went all the way to the arms with this one, so they just go together like this, then you have a baby structure. Okay? Boy, I still didn't choose what type of native she will be, because I want this. What was it that we like the clothes, Marcia? I forgot the name that we like the clothes, their clothes style. And now for the neck, I'm going to use a third wire, and I'm going to put in the head this way. What happens? Not getting in very much. Well, that's good enough. Just getting in that much. I wish it was going more, but it's not. I'll try to. Oh, there we go. Now it went. And now for the neck, we just need enough. It doesn't matter the long, like, you just want to make sure that you're not going to make the neck too long, because babies barely have a neck. And that's good enough here. And I'm going to cut this wire here. All right. Let me just put this wire away, and now I can read the questions. Is there any more question that I missed when I was focused here on my baby body? All right, now I'm gonna get a thin wire, and I just have red here, but it doesn't matter. This is like a very bad wire from the dollar store, this type. And I forgot the Is there a question? What was the question? So this is a very bad wire. It's just from the dollar store, and is the, I think she was Southern, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the same outfit that this one is wearing. I think we're gonna change some things around. This one that we choose is just for the pose, holding the baby in this way. And then we just have to make sure that we won't do a native that carry the baby on the back more, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you can. Where is it? Here. All right, so this is a very thin wire from the dollar store again, and it comes wrapped with this red, whatever sparkle thing that it doesn't have any use for it. It's just the one that it's cheaper and it's local and I can get it anytime, so that's the only reason I use. And it just needs to be thin, and you know, it doesn't need to be that thin. It doesn't need to be exactly that. Just anything that works. And if you don't have it, you can even use a sewing thread. It doesn't need to be a wire. If you want to use a sewing thread, it also works. So now we're going to put this together, and I'm just going to put the body attached to the leg, the arms and legs attached, and then neck all together. They might move around a little bit when we are doing, but then we fix it all after. That's okay. And tight. Yeah, I'm not sure what thickness is that one. This is actually the one that my husband have to make the skeleton's neck, and I just stole from him, so I don't really know. There we go. Pull the neck up a little bit and keep unwrapping this. Then we have a baby body. And the only reason that we need to put wire for this baby, that it will be all covered, is just to be stronger, because, you know, I sell sculptures, I ship them everywhere, so you want to have strong stuff. You don't want to be so super weak that can break anytime. And that's it. So something else that is good is use floral tape. So this is how it comes. It's just a tape to make fake flowers, and I like the white one to avoid the shades. And that's the thing. I use that. It will avoid shades on my sculpture, and it also makes it easier to stick clay to the wire, because it's very hard to stick clay to wire. So this is floral tape here, and I'm just going to wrap all around my baby body. So this is the same thing. If you guys want to make an armature for an adult, it's the same thing. You just follow an adult reference. You can look for Loomis anatomy proportions, and you're gonna get this drawing here that I can't really show because YouTube doesn't like naked woman drawing. And then you follow that to build up your structure, your armature. And it's the same thing, same way to do. Legs, arms, and then the legs can go all the way up to form the neck, so you don't need to make a third wire. You can just make a double neck, double wire neck. And this tape is good because it's elastic and it moves around, so it doesn't get it's easy to wrap around things because it's made for it. So it's soft, and it has a little bit of a glue to it. It's a little bit sticky, so it sticks to each other pretty good. I'm still going to be able to move the neck a little bit up and down. If you don't want that to happen, you can just put a little bit of super glue between the wires before you wrap the tape, and then it gets nice and firm. And just this leg now, and we're all good. There we go. So now we have a baby. And now we're going to pose the baby. And that's the pose there. Again, I'm going to show again. So let's see if I can make it here. Not really. Too close. There. So we kind of follow the pose. I don't want my baby to be grumpy as that baby. I want my baby to be laughing, maybe even his head more towards the back like that. I'm not going to put clay on its arm because the arm I will do last after. And his spine is a little bit curved and his legs are kind of folding like that. And I think that's pretty much it. This arm is going to be going inside Mama's arm like that. Oops. There. So it doesn't need to be exactly the same as the reference. It's just kind of something similar. And none of the body will show, just the arms, and that's it. So let's go back to the Mama. There. Hopefully my cell phone stays. And now I'm just going to place her arms just to see how the baby is staying there. Kind of. So I'm just fitting the arm here. I don't even need to fit the other arm. Again, oh, the other arm goes on top of him too, so I'll fit it. Something like that, and the baby is gonna go here, butt down, and then her hands go under his legs like that, and this arm is more giving support to him, more here. No, the baby is more here. Well, her arms are not that thick, so it will give better support once we put arms to it. That's kind of what we got here. There. Can you guys see? Something like that. Right? So, how long we have more left on class? Only 5 minutes. Yeah, we don't have time to make the baby body. We can start it, I guess. Let's just start it. I'm just afraid that I didn't search for the outfit, so I'm not sure if I will do exactly that outfit and then this baby might change outfit later on. I'm not sure. So I'm going to move the arms out of my way because the arms, I'm not going to fill it up right now. And because the body doesn't show, all I want to give here is volume. That's it. So I will follow this baby just for anatomy purpose to don't mess it up too much. Even though there is no a really shape. I'm not going to put anything on the neck because the neck is have to be the other clay color. This is the wrong color. So pretty much just filling up with clay around, and I'm not going to build arms. Arms are after. He is already on the mommy's hand, mommy's arms, and mommy's arm needs to be here so he can place the arm over her, and then I can build that. So I'm not going to make the baby arm until the baby can be placed on mommy's arms, and then I can see how it goes. We're crossing sculptures here. That's what it is. This sculpture, the mommy's arm will affect the baby arm, and the baby body will affect the mommy's body. So we have to kind of play around and see what we're gonna do first, so it doesn't get. We can still make things happen, and when one body pressure the other one, and there's a mix, like, you know, when the body press like that, and you can see marks, then we have to work this out when you cross two sculptures like that. Even though this is just fabric, it's not going to show, but I still want to make this arm after I can have the mommy's arm here, so I know how much I can put it down. Otherwise you have like a very stiff baby, and you can't play around with mommy's arms after it's all done, and then it might get on your way, so we don't want to do that. I've done it before, that's why I know that you shouldn't do it. It's really important to put the baby belly. Babies have a big belly. Thank you. So I will put the big belly here. And we're gonna have to make little hands. That's gonna be challenging, but we're not gonna have to make little foot, so because it's gonna be all covered by the baby dress. Now legs. Again, if you guys want to go ahead and make one full thing for legs because of the dress, you can. You don't need to make separated legs. You can make one full piece and it's fine. Or you can just make like I'm making. It doesn't really matter because it's not going to show. And it's not going to be easy to break this because it's small, strong. Yeah, this is polymer clay. There's a lot of my students here that take this class, this private class with me on Patreon, so they know a lot of the answers that you guys are, the questions that they know the answers for a lot of questions you guys have, so that's why they're answering, because they know I can't really read all the questions while I'm sculpting. Thank you, Esther, for answering, and thanks, Marcia, for always answering too. Like I said, my students are amazing. There you go. I'm gonna get the other clay to make a little bit of a neck in there, and that's it. I'm not going to be concerned with a lot more on this baby body. Maybe put a little foot in here just to be cute. Can't resist. I want to make a cute baby. I don't want to make a weirdo with just one full leg. Like a baby mermaid. I don't want to do that. But we can. It's not, it doesn't really do any difference. It's the same thing. go. Just making sure that the wire is not showing anywhere. And that's it. Oh yeah, if you sign up my Patreon and you weren't added to the group, just send me a private message with your Facebook link so I can add you to the group. I think we have to become Facebook friends so I can add you. But it's private for students. Even though those classes are open, the chat is still private for students because, you know, it's a nice small group and we have time to help each other, and it's really fun. The group is fun. That's it, guys, for this baby. We don't need much more than that. I didn't really make a foot, but it's not showing. It's gonna have a long dress here. If you guys want to go ahead and give more details, you can. It's cute anyway. It's nice to make it. Just make sure to follow the reference if your baby is going to be showing the body, but I don't think any of native baby will show bodies. I think actually the ones that are different from mine are actually even more covered than mine because they are on the mama's back. So just even, oh my gosh, it's still cute, isn't it cute? Babies are cute no matter what. Even a baby mermaid would be cute here. Okay, I'm gonna get the other clay now to make the neck because that's the same color of the baby. I don't think it's gonna show anyway, but I just, you know, just to make sure, just to be safe, I will use the right color here. I think I made the neck too long anyway. Yeah, there's no need to make a baby body. I might have made the neck too long. I'm not going to be able to squeeze him in because I'm going to have... Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's better. And this baby's chubby, so we can make a chubby neck too. It's not going to show though. The dress goes all the way there. I need a bigger belly. This baby's chubbier than that. Like Anna says, calls my baby the baby Buddha. And keep on some neck marks here. Okay, I'm gonna make the body bigger, larger. It's not, even the chest is not big enough, and that might show with her dress. and belly. Bigger belly, and that's it. The baby's gonna be ready. I mean, ready for receiving a dress. Just a chubbier baby. Looks like my son. When he was a baby, he was very chubby. And I was very skinny because he breastfed all my weight away. All right. Okay, I like that. There's no foot. Didn't make a foot. We could make a volume for the foot if you want. There's really no need. The dress is not gonna let it show. But yeah, that's pretty good for now. If you guys want to go ahead and give more details, feel free to do it. It's fun. It's fun to make babies. But there's no need for this one. I just don't want to do some things that we don't need, because that was my deal with this class. Because my students have been always making full anatomy and then dressing the full clothes and hiding the whole anatomy. So I just want them to know that there's no need for doing that when you're like, you know, you want to sell sculptures, you want to make more sculptures, so you don't need to take that long in every sculpture that you make. And if you don't need to do some parts, sometimes it's just better, it's fast enough, speed up your process. Okay, so that's good enough for what we need for this baby. All right, guys, so it's been more than an hour class. I'll be back next week. We probably will start her hands. And yeah, hands are challenging, hands and arms, so we can finish her anatomy, and then we can start building up her outfit. That's gonna give me time to think about her outfit better. What am I gonna do? Maybe the stores are gonna be open now, then, and then I can actually go buy in my regular store. So yeah, so next week you can start hands. So I'm gonna bake this baby. So he's gonna be baked so we can fit the hand in and do all of that. Oh my gosh, not baby hands. No, we're gonna do her hands. Okay, so see you all next week. It doesn't matter if you are a student on Patreon or not. I'm gonna be here. I'm opening all the classes until we